Iron was taken as the key factor as in the growth of an urban center. Now this view has been opposed by Amalananda Ghosh and D.K. Chakraborty. According to them, just the use of iron does not lead to urbanization. If this would have been, then we can very well see that we have megalithic culture, which is based on iron culture in the southern part of India, where we do not have the emergence of urban center in this period. So second urbanization was mainly linked into North India and particularly to the Middle Ganga Valley, because the Middle Ganga Valley was considered to be the epicenter in the case of second urbanization. So what they argued, or they tried to argue, was that you need a very strong political organization to actually handle this surplus. So it is true that there were agrarian surpluses, we had agrarian surplus, but to have the proper distribution of this surplus in the non-fruit producing area, you need a good social organization, a political organization. So herein comes the role of the state. And as I have mentioned earlier, that the rise of the Janapadas or the Mahajanapadas, that is the formation of the state, was very much linked with urbanism. We see here that it was possible for a state to actually distribute the surplus which was socially acceptable or was acceptable by all kinds of society. So the debate goes on, but more or less scholars now accept that only the use of iron or the knowledge of making iron implements cannot be the moot cause for the emergence of urban centers. So we have to link emergence of urban centers with technological innovation as well as with the strong governance or a very strong political authority. Other areas where we have experienced, see the main features of urbanization are in the area of coinage. Now, if we look at the Pali literature, we see that the Pali literature are replete with examples of its stories which talks of exchanges in Kahapano. Kahapano actually meant Karshapano, which was very much a part of our exchange network. Now, we do not have a definite date for the emergence of coinage tradition in India. But what we do have is that from around 5th century BC, we see that from the archaeological context, we have the coins which are known as the Panchmark coins. So these are known as the Panchmark coins because the symbols that we find in the coins, these were mainly silver coins. Later on we have examples of copper Panchmark coins, but in this case we have mainly the silver Panchmark coins. And these silver Panchmark coins had certain symbols, and these symbols were done with the punch technique, and therefore these are known as Panchmark coins. So here again you find that the expression Kahapano, which refers actually to the Panchmark coins, tallies with what we have in literature and what we find from archaeological findings. And when we have coinage, it talks about a very important exchange network. So we have coinage tradition, very strong coinage tradition, and therefore this coinage tradition was linked with the exchange network of this period. And regarding when we are talking of exchange, the question of crafts, the question of artisans come into being. So you have an urban center where you have a coinage tradition, and at the same time you have a very good group of artisans who were actually making products from, and they knew the use of metallurgy. So you have metal crafts, you have potteries and different kinds.